Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about barbells and what you should consider when you're purchasing a barbell either for your own personal use or for your training facility. Now the first thing to look at is the style of training that the bar is going to be used for, and this can be broken down into three main categories. The first of these is powerlifting, and that's made up of the bench press, squat and deadlift. The second is Olympic lifting, which is the clean and jerk and snatch, and it's what you see at the Olympic Games. And the third of these, which is really a combination of both of these sports, is either CrossFit or functional fitness. Now the most important thing to consider on the bar is how the sleeves are attached to the barbell. You should never ever buy a bar that uses a hex bolt or a nut to secure the sleeve onto the bar. They come loose over time. They're dangerous, they can not only harm the person using the bar but also people in their vicinity. All of our barbells use C-clips or snap rings on the ends, and that way the sleeves won't come off during training. The main section of the barbell is a shaft, and this is obviously where you grip the bar during lifts. This has a diamond cut pattern known as knurling on it, and that's there to assist with grip. These marks here are actually a powerlifting mark and an Olympic lifting mark, and these set out the actual legal hand positions during competitions. On the end you have your sleeve, and your sleeve is where you're loading the plates onto, and the sleeves actually need to rotate. Some bars require a greater amount or freer rotation of the sleeves than other barbells, depending on the style of lifting. Inside the sleeves, between the bar shaft and the sleeve itself, you have a bushing, and the bushing needs to be made out either of brass, bronze or stainless steel, never plastic. So barbells can be broken down into three main categories: powerlifting bars, Olympic lifting bars, or these hybrid or dual marking bars, which is what's used in CrossFit or functional fitness and most gymnasiums. I just want to clarify one point. All the bars you see here are Olympic barbells, and that means that they have sleeves on the ends which are 50 millimeters or 2 inches in diameter. You can get standard barbells which are used in domestic applications just for home use, should never be used in a commercial setting, and they're just a 28 millimeter one-piece shaft bar. Okay, so these are all Olympic barbells. And as I mentioned earlier, you have three categories that they can be broken down into. So first of all, we'll have a look at powerlifting barbells. So a powerlifting barbell doesn't need to have a lot of flex or whip in the bar itself because it's not an aggressive movement. So there's a slow vertical motion in either your squat, your bench press or your deadlift. Also the sleeves don't need to rotate much and you won't get much spin out of them at all. So they don't need to have bearings in the sleeves either. The shaft should be quite rigid as it doesn't need to bend or flex much at all. The knurling should be aggressive, right? So it's deep cut to provide extra grip. It should also have some knurling in the center to help it catch onto the front of your shirt during squats or on the back of your shirt as well. The other thing you can have is a dedicated deadlifting bar. Now deadlifting bars are longer, so your normal barbells are 220 centimeters long, whereas your deadlifting bar is 230 centimeters long. Now Olympic lifting or hybrid barbells come in two distinct sizes. So we have our 7-foot barbells, which are 20 kilos in weight and have a 28 millimeter diameter shaft. And this is what we refer to as our standard Olympic barbell. The other is what we call our ladies bar, and this is 15 kilos in weight. It's shorter and it has a 25 millimeter diameter shaft. The knurling on these bars is actually quite light. It's not aggressive like your powerlifting bars. And again, there's no knurling through the center of the bar itself. Now, unlike powerlifting bars, which are quite stiff or rigid, Olympic lifting or hybrid bars should have a lot of flex or whip. This really helps the lifter get under the bar during those explosive movements. You'll also want sleeves that spin freely, as the explosive movement of the bar will put a lot of pressure on the hands and wrists. These barbells have 5 sets of bearings in them, and as I said, these are what we call hybrid barbells. And what they are is essentially they're an Olympic lifting barbell with dual markings. So that's really the difference between your hybrid or dual marking bar and your Olympic lifting bar. The bar itself is essentially the same. The only difference is that it has dual markings. So sure, you could buy an Olympic lifting barbell, but there's no point. You might as well get one with the dual markings, and that way you can see where both the hand positions are, particularly if you're going to do a combination of styles of training. Now barbell qualities do vary considerably and you do have to be careful. So I'll cover that in a separate video for you. But if you've got any questions on what I've been going over today, feel free to message us below or email us and we'll get back to you.